Did a lot of the guys know that Vince is basically putting everything on the line for WrestleMania? He put all his money into.
I don't think a lot knew back then, because as the press conferences, the ones in Rockefeller Center, and the real showing was the day of the event. Vince was going up and down the halls, trying to boom, boom, boom. And I think a reporter came. This is when it became evident. A reporter came and said something like, "Is wrestling real or fake?" And Vince goes, "I don't know." "Oh, good one." Yeah. Vin, come here. And he was going on. I actually grabbed him. I said, "Listen, you're driving us all crazy. We've had whatever, please stop." And this is about 20 or a half hour before. And he went into his room. And we went on and had a match, because really it was just another match, guys. Although it was going to be tight and it's exciting. I mean, if there was 2 people or if there was 1 million, it should be still the same energy kind of match.
Right. Did you think that WrestleMania would become the success that it has?
That was the big question. Are they going to hot shot the world? And they're going to die. And I was one of those that it ain't never going to last. Get it while you can. It ain't never going to last. Get it while you can. And here I am.
What are your memories of that match and the vignettes leading up to it?
The WrestleMania 1?
Yeah, WrestleMania 1.
Well, Mr. T and I didn't get along at all. The way it went is I got off to a bad start. There was a very first press conference. And so I'm late. The doors closes in the garden. And as I'm coming into the door, and the art department hands me in frames 2 pictures of Mr. T. And and I open the door, and all the press is there. And there's T sitting here, T, Hogan, McMahon here, Orndorff, and there was just my name there. And as I came in, I pulled the pictures, I said something, boom, away, and Mr. T goes, "Really, and so I looked at it, and I squeezed his head, and I said, it was pretty soft. I didn't know you weren't allowed to touch Mr. T. It's a contractual thing. You can't touch him. Well, when I squeeze it, the reports, Piper says, no brains, or however they put it. So Mr. T, the next press conference was satellited. Mr. T put on a kilt, and he got one of them rubber chickens. And he come out, "I pity you, Piper. I pity you for whatever. You ain't nothing but a chicken." And he's pulling on this chicken, but it's one of the magic chickens. And he's pulling, he's trying to break it. And I swear, he put both his feet on it, and he's pulling it. I'm horse laughing. And by a satellite, I'm dying. And the thing goes, it's right out, just blood plums him right up there. And in WrestleMania 1, I wouldn't take a dive either. And that was some of the stuff that led up to it.
Was the match okay?
WrestleMania 1?
Yeah.
What happened, Vince McMahon Jr. called and wanted Hogan and myself in the office. And I said, "Hey, Vince, there's only one right way to do this." And hot rod. There's many right ways to do it. No, there's only one right way to do this. And so I get to the office, and we got to work with him. So Hogan was pretty professional here, and I said, "You can't throw any punches, and you got to keep it tight. And you got to keep it amateur." And what he wanted the hot tag from Hogan, because Mr. T. Okay, no, sure, for Hogan's going to be here. He's whatever I think of him, I'll still take a vote for the guy. But for Mr. T, he's back on the set. Not a chance. He was quite a piece of work one time. We're in the Palm, and Mr. T has got a Crown Royal velvet bag, and he pulls a gold goblet out with at the Palm in Los Angeles with jewels on it. He puts it on the table. He says, "Well, if you're good enough for the Pope, it's good enough for Mr. T." Then he goes, orders Cristal champagne, and pours orange juice in it. Ha! That's what I'm working with here. He is a piece of work. When WrestleMania 2 was going on, I was in Nassau, the second round. What they did to me was, I went to a camp with Lou Duva. I'll try to stay on track for you here. All right, this is the answer to this question. With Lou Duva. and I was 5 weeks in coming out, and I wouldn't take a dive for T in WrestleMania 2.
Right.
It was boxing. What they did was they took my hands, and then they wrapped my hands up. Then they put them in the glove. So there was nothing I could do. And it was one of the worst matches, one of my most embarrassing matches. And again, you've got T and Piper in Nassau and the satellite, and then all of a sudden in the second round in Nassau, T and Piper first in the card. The second round, the whole Coliseum just starts chanting my name. And I remember it coming from the back. I'm not sure, second, maybe third round. And all of a sudden, everybody's chanting my name. And I can remember I was trying to get T to do something out of text because I figured I could, do something. And I flung the stool at him as hard as I could as my last chance. He didn't. So it was a terrible boxing match from one aspect. But what that did, and with the animosity with WrestleMania, who started and who didn't, Hogan went to McMahon and said, "Hey, I'll just write on his kilts." Nobody expected me to come out babyface. And it just went all over. And all of a sudden, Hogan had a rival, and Hogan said, "I'll just ride on his kilts." McMahon said to him, No, I'll take care of him. And I got the jungle beat. Oh, wait a second, guys, man. I give you my guts, and more to settle the score. I said I wouldn't take a dive, but it surely didn't hurt the gate. I went again. It was WrestleMania 1 with some real stringent rules why I should not for Mr. T, and it didn't hurt the gate. And now I'm in WrestleMania 2, and you got the Chicago Bears, and the gate still ain't hurting. What's the problem?
Can you talk about the 2 workouts you had with Mr. T prior to the WrestleMania match? Is that?
I remember one time getting in the ring with him. There was George Scott, Vince McMahon. It was a warehouse, and it was for the boxing match. And I'd said, I'm not going to take a dive with this guy. I didn't like the guy. And so we were in the ring and boxing. I remember, boom, and he just came, his head was here, just kind of toying. And I looked over at McMahon, and McMahon kind of smiling, "Yeah, you can handle him." And that was about it. I remember that one. And I remember McMahon saying after the match, "Why didn't you take him out?" "Why didn't you tell me?" "I would love to." So he really piled that one because he knew that I had hurt myself. And Vince is good at piling that one deep. And he was going to get rid of me or tone down my value. So bring you up to WrestleMania 3. By that time, they figured I was gone. And yeah, they started the whole 9 yards.